Welcome back to the KEMPIRE Daily YouTube channel, where we talk about the hottest topics in music, entertainment, reality TV, and more. As always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out when we go live or when we upload. In today's video, I have to talk about Sheree Whitfield. First of all, on my TikTok, I was talking about last night's episode of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, and it really made me miss Sheree because this comment said, can you imagine if Sheree was at this bachelorette party? We would have gotten receipts. Oh man, I missed the bone collector. There is some new updates on Sheree Whitfield, and we'll talk about her in just a second, but I wanted to do a quick recap of last night's episode of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. You know, the biggest storyline of the season. As I've said before, countless times you guys have said, this season of Atlanta is just not good. Everyone has their reasons for it. I agree, but I'm going to give them some leeway because it is a pandemic. I'm in a good mood today. I'm going to give them some leeway. Kenya as Sharon Stone, she really committed to that role. She committed her whole entire look and her acting. If you didn't think Kenya could act before, okay, it wasn't her greatest acting moment, but it was pretty good. It was pretty good. I know you guys don't like Kenya, but I love what she brings to the show. Because I've said countless times, I'm kind of tired of the Mark situation being rehashed again this season. But she took on a new role in this episode. As you know, a few months ago, Love Beat Scott had an exclusive about Strippergate that included, allegedly, Portia Williams and Tanya Sam. As you may have seen, Tanya Sam has not been recording with the ladies since this whole situation came out. And we got to see why a little bit in this bachelorette party with the stripper Bolo. I still don't understand the Chanel outfit, but we'll move on. Bolo, you're hot. Okay. Anyway, so Candy, as always, brings the freak to the party, and we love it. And I know a lot of you are watching. Okay, finally, we have something worth watching. I honestly thought we would see more of the party, but we really didn't. And that was partially intentional. The ladies covered up the cameras. They moved them. Look, I get it. They wanted to have a fun time. They really wanted to throw a bachelorette party. And I also think because of the pandemic, they really wanted to break loose because they really haven't been able to. None of us haven't been able to during this bachelorette party. Look, I've said this before and I'll say it again. I can appreciate these women wanting to have a moment to themselves, not on camera. Look, you're on a reality show. You make a choice first of all, for us to talk about it, and also to talk about your personal life. Yes, you can put limits on that. However, your season has been dry. And the only thing that's been interesting so far is this whole Strippergate situation. I get it, you turn the cameras, but whatever we got, we got. And if Kenya did not make a big deal about what was going on during Strippergate, we would have nothing. I want people to really think about that. I understand, let these women have their private moment, leave whatever happened, in the house. Okay, if we did that, I want everyone to think about that. If we really did that, then this season would have failed even more miserably than it already has been. The newest housewives that they brought on, and friend of LaToya, not bringing anything. Drew, not bringing anything. Sidebar. Drew really tried to throw Kenya and LaToya under the bus. And I'm sure we might hear more about this because she almost alluded when she was on, I think it was Watch What Happens Live, or no, she was on the chat room. And she alluded to the fact that, oh no, LaToya and Kenya possibly hooked up. But we saw the footage of Portia and LaToya hooking up. We'll get into Portia in a second. So I'm wondering how else this would play out, because Kenya really made herself seem innocent that she just came down and watched, but Kenya was spreading it wide and doing all kinds. I was actually really shocked. I think a lot of us were shocked to see how much Kenya got involved in like her whole outfit. I mean, first of all, as a gay man, I was looking at these women like, wow. I was like, wow. Like, I was just amazed. All of them beautifully shaped. I don't know if any of them have surgery. There have been allegations. Look, I know some of them definitely have admitted to cosmetic surgery. I don't care. Whatever y'all got done, good work. But I thought we would get more of the bachelorette party. We didn't get a lot. And of course, that was intentional. They filmed as much as they could film. And then they were like, all right, guys, you can go. And they brought Bolo back out. Bolo comes out, does this thing. Look, I know there's only so much they can show on cable television. And I know everyone was like, oh, what are we going to see? First of all, I was shocked that they even showed or that Candy even did this, where, you know, Candy has the toy line, the sex toy line. So they have this thing where you insert it in a woman's panty, and it's supposed to, you know, blah, 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 use your imagination. I can't believe she actually did that to Cynthia. But it was funny. It was funny to me. And I feel like this, you know, Candy, you've earned your stripes, girl. You've earned another season in my book. Because I was ready at the beginning of the season, like, all right, Candy, I'm kind of over the storyline. No, you've earned your place. Anyways, so fast forward. Okay, we don't see much. They, you know, they kick the cameras out. But remember, this house, yeah, we can play and act like Kenya rented out this house for them for the weekend. No, Bravo did. Because Bravo set up all the cameras. We have to remember, I know people are saying, you know, they wanted to have their fun. They're, you know, it's a bachelorette party, blah, 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 blah. But you're still at work. I don't care what you say. I don't care what anyone says. You can fight with me in the comments. You're still at work. And I use this example when I went live with Layla Lynn. Shout out to Layla Lynn. It was so much fun. I use this example. When you go out with coworkers, even after work, people be acting up like they're not still with coworkers. That's just the way I was looking at it. And that's partially, I don't go out with coworkers like that after work. And mind you, I don't drink. But that's my example. Like, you're still at work. That's why they still have those cameras there. And that's why they legally have a right to use the footage. That's the trick. Everyone's like, oh no, they had a right to their, you know, to have their fun and blah, blah, blah. Well, if Bravo felt the same way, they wouldn't have used the footage, right? Just a thought. But like I said, the next day when Kenya was talking about it and sharing, you know, like investigating it, because she was in and out. I just felt bad for Brooklyn. Like, Brooklyn's in this house and you guys are acting like this downstairs. I understand she's a young baby. It was just kind of off. That was just weird for me. Like, I was like, she's literally just upstairs and you guys are spreading it wide and doing all kinds of stuff. And we will never truly know what happened 100%. And this is why I miss Sheree. Because I think we would have gotten something from Sheree. I don't even know if Sheree would have partaked in something like that. Anyways, so Kenya's at, you know, I heard sounds down the hall and I heard sex sounds. But she gave us like a play-by-play because she went down, she went back up, she went back down. And some of the things that she saw, even before she heard the sex sounds, she said all these women were, there was a lot of girl on girl action that we want to talk about. Candy is one saying, like, see, like, I can relate with Candy because I'm a Taurus like her. I'm a Taurus like Drew. So first of all, we're very passionate. We're very like undercover freaks. And that's why Drew is look, Drew was the one that we need to do a little bit more investigating about. I'm just saying, because there's more with the whole Drew situation than we know. Do I think she slept with the stripper? No, but definitely she partook in celebrating Bolo being there. But also the thing about Taurus is that we are able to keep secrets, and Candy saw a lot and probably didn't do a lot, even though she's admitted on the show that she has had threesomes with Todd. And those women, I think women, signed NDAs. Okay. I digress. So the next day, of course, Kenya is talking to the women and trying to understand, so where were you between these particular hours? And I know all of you are like hating on Kenya, but I'm going to say it again. If she didn't do any of this, what would we be talking about the next day after this Bolo situation? Like, oh, this was fantastic. Oh yeah, Bolo, what a night. And we all would have been like, this was the stupidest episode ever. I'm just saying. I'll wait. So Kenya is investigating, she's asking, and then you can see in Tanya's demeanor, like, she's just like, why is she asking so much questions and blah, 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 blah. Tanya is acting very guilty. And I don't know why Tanya is even on the show, as she's not for the play when it comes to her reputation. Because Tanya likes to give us that whole reputation of like, you know, I don't know what it is. And I like Tanya. Don't get me wrong. I've always liked Tanya up until this season. Because I just don't understand why you would act as if something didn't happen. You're on a reality show. So if someone calls you out, you're fair game. I'm just saying, like, I get it. You want to keep certain things private, but like me, if I want to keep something private, I'm not doing a reality show. I'm not going to even appear on a reality show because that's just going to pull me in. You thought because you're a friend of that, you wouldn't get pulled into the mess, and you've been pulled into the mess. You think you would have thought you would have learned last season when they pulled you into the mess. And I didn't agree with that situation. However, you get pulled into the mess when you're part of the mess. She was acting defensive. Even LaToya sort of turning on Kenya now because maybe they all feel shameful. I don't understand, but I guess they also probably feel caught out there. But again, you guys are on a reality show. Yes, you thought you turned those cameras and that no one would talk about it, but Kenya is a producer and we appreciate the production. Anyways, all of this information about Kenya really, trying to investigate what happened gets back to Portia because, everyone's like, oh yeah, she was talking about it. Portia is not happy with this information. Let me backtrack a little bit. So right before this, Cynthia brings Marlo to Kenya's room because she wants to make peace between them. Because as you know, for years, when Marlo and Kenya first came on the show, they were cool. And I think because of the Nene situation, that just really messed up their whatever friendship could have happened. I have to say, it was one of the moments, because when Marlo was acting fake hurt a couple of episodes ago, I was just like, Marlo, if you really want to be a friend, you can just have an honest, open conversation with her. Or you want to squash beef, have a conversation. I have to say, when they squashed their beef and they actually had a moment, I was like, I actually felt good about it. And I kind of wish that happened between Kenya and Nene. But I think although Kenya, Nene, Marlo, they all are very similar, very just the same sort of energy. But to see Kenya and Marlo to come together, I was like, I like this. I like this. And then they started going back. Well, did you hear something last night or early this morning? I loved it. I loved it. So they go back, and they meet up with the ladies to have some food because, as you know, this is like a food desert during this trip because they can't find food. They don't have utensils. I don't know what's going on. I blame Bravo. I don't blame Kenya because Kenya is just the, host for the show. Portia is really, you can see she shut down. And some people are saying, they think that she was shut down with partially because she knows that Tanya was being thrown under the bus. No, Portia's no. That's not why. I think what with Portia, there's some underlying with her bisexual behavior, because as you saw when they asked her, are you like fully bisexual now? And she's like, for tonight. But we've heard rumors allegedly of Portia hooking up with girls. I just don't understand why she doesn't own it. Every time it's brought up, she gets very defensive. And you could tell Portia was lit the night of the bachelor party. Or at least she was acting lit. But I do believe she was lit. Like she was like tipsy. But I just don't understand why she doesn't own it. Like we literally saw her and LaToya hooking up on the couch. They thought they turned that camera, but you were caught on camera, girl. Caught on camera. I just don't understand why she doesn't not even own it, but just be like, yeah, every once in a while, I like to hook up with a girl. Doesn't mean I'm bisexual. Doesn't mean, every once in a while. And there are a lot of women that identify like that. They don't identify necessarily as bisexual, but every once in a while, I don't mind to hook up with a girl. I don't know. I don't know what that thing is with Portia. I'm looking forward to see what the next episode will bring. Yeah, was it a fantastic episode? No, but it's the best episode we've had so far from these ladies. But speaking of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, as I said before, if Sheree Whitfield was here, we probably would have gotten more. And when I say more, we would have gotten more details. Because like I said, this is the biggest thing that's happened in the franchise in a while. I'm just saying. There's some news on our girl Sheree, and shout out to Layla Lynn TV. We're getting the scoop exclusively from her. Apparently, remember Sheree's prison boo? Well, apparently he's out. So Layla Lynn received this email, and the email says Tyrone is out. I think I would have been confused if I got this email like Tyrone. But then the email says, I saw him and Sheree in the airport in ATL. They were looking real cozy in the corner, trying to be discreet. I think they were flying into Philadelphia. I couldn't get a picture without being obvious. Well, Layla Lynn, as always, the greatest researcher, did some Google schmoogling and found that, yes, Tyrone is out based on the Federal Bureau of Prisons database. Layla Lynn, you are in the wrong business. You should be working for the FBI. But yes, so Tyrone is out. I've heard what you guys said, and I am ready for Sheree to come back. I don't understand why Sheree didn't come back after her last season. First of all, just what she gave during that reunion about the joggers, fall, spring, summer, that alone. But I think Sheree also behind the scenes can be a horror and probably expected to get more money. And they were like, no, we'll just replace you. Allegedly. I don't know that for a fact, but it wouldn't shock me. Like, why wouldn't they bring her back? Especially when there's a lot more going on. But now that Prison Bae is out, I think we need to bring Sheree back. I would love to bring Sheree back. Who do you guys want to see come back next season? And who do you don't want to see come back next season? I'll tell you already. After seeing that LaToya video, check out my previous video in the description about her colorist words, and I don't know what you want to call it. But yeah, I can't watch her anymore. I'm not loving LaToya anymore. Drew, sorry, Drew, not interested. Not interested. I want to be, but not interested. Let's start all over again for next season. Bravo. Anyways, let's continue the conversation in the comments. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out when we go live or when we upload.